Since the 80s, Oak Park would go to war with several gangs, and this would cause decades of bloodshed for them and their rivals. They will also pick up new enemies along the years and become more deadlier. Oak Park would gain more rivals, which I've talked about multiple times in previous SAC episodes, and if you haven't already, check those episodes out. But outside of gaining a lot of rivals, young dudes in Oak Park would start making different crews with cliques in the 2000s, and with the rap scene, it became more and more crews in Oak Park. By 2013, Oak Park rapper Mozzy, who had already been rapping for several years, began to get attention with his diss songs aimed at Oak Park rivals. He had the whole Oak Park behind him, and his career would take off within the next few years. Mozzy had several rappers from his hood follow his blueprint, from homies his age to younger homies. Several rappers and crews would pop up all over Oak Park, like Shooter Gang, Murder Gang, BOE, Red Paint, and a whole list of other crews in Oak Park. With Mozzy being the biggest rapper in Oak Park, he would give these crews cosigns and even do songs with several up-and-coming rappers from his neighborhood, like with Shooter Gang. Mozzy would collab on a few songs with rappers from Shooter Gang like Shooter Gang Coney, and Mozzy could be seen in Shooter Gang videos.
Hey, it's crazy what happened with the Shooter Gang and how that whole little situation played out. Seemed like they done lost all their motion, keep going to jail, the internal beefs, this, that, and the third. It's crazy though. I think Shooter Gang Coney's still pushing.
Mozzy was the biggest rapper in SAC of the newer generation, since SAC hadn't had a rapper as big as him since Sibo and Brother Lynch in the 90s. So all throughout SAC, many rappers were trying to make it, and Oak Park had Shooter Gang Coney doing numbers as well as people like Shooter Gang JoJo and Uzi Marcus among others. So at a point, Oak Park had an abundance of rappers on the rise, but behind the scenes along the years, things would stop being unified and division between the crews would start. Shooter Gang and Mozzy Camp would engage in a beef that had Oak Park splitting up and picking sides. It was said that Mozzy and Shooter Gang Coney would get into an altercation, which led to Coney getting jumped by the Mozzy camp, and Coney would have his jury taken. To the media, this would go under the radar for a while, and many people wouldn't know what was brewing behind the scenes because nobody would bring it up, but the separation was obvious with both sides not being seen together anymore, and even in interviews, they was giving dry responses when asked about each other.
Working with Mozzy or start wearing the Mozzy chain, when did that conversation happen?
Probably like 18. I think I got my shit out like 18. Like that, he had gave me the chain for sure, and like but other than that, like we ain't worked hella, you feel me? I think we got like two, 3 songs or something, 2 songs. But yeah, I just got the chain and then what it was.
Okay, but you didn't sign to him?
Nah.
Hey, he was fishing in this interview. I remember that shit. Cold part about it, right? They did do a pretty good job at keeping certain things out the media, although, you know, motherfuckers who was in the know knew what was going on, and you could see it, and you could tell by these dry ass answers and this, that, and the third how he was, you know what I mean, that something was up.
I never signed.
But you guys didn't really like move around that much. You just did a couple songs and it didn't really...
Yeah, I had went on tour with Dog, like, you feel me, like 2 times, but that was like the first time I went on tour, and I wasn't even like really a rapper yet.
Oh. Did you guys sort of fall out at a certain point, or did you stop kicking at a certain point, or?
I ain't really know like Fallout Blood, you know, growing, doing their own thing.
I feel it. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm like having a hard time. Like I'm looking through YouTube titles and I can't really tell like what is actually real stuff and which ones are just trying to clickbait me into believing that everybody has problems with each other.
And about bruh doing his thing, he dissing Mozzy. But like, do you still keep that relationship cool? Like, cause I see you still following him and you still do his thing. Are you trying to kind of keep it on a level ground and have peace there, or what?
You know when you got you're a homie and you got 2 brothers, you at their house and they start fighting. Best thing for you to do is just let them do their shit and chill out. You don't get in the.
Hey, Shelly Rue broke that down real good, man. You know, and it was a lot of speculation. It's crazy, right? Like I was saying, they did a good job at trying to keep that shit out the media, which would lead a motherfucker to believe, like, okay, either they trying to, you know, they don't want to talk too much about each other because there's still some love there, or, nigga, we keeping it in the streets for real, you know?
Wait, just chill out and just let them do their shit. I ain't got nothing, that ain't my business. I'm from the...
With more things going on behind the scenes, death will become a common thing, and not just dying from the hands of rivals. Many would suspect backdoor activity. A well-loved member of Oak Park named K Squeeze would die in June of 2020, and his death will be celebrated by his rivals. But the thing is, Many people would think he was set up by his own hood. K-Squeeze had a close relationship with Mozzy and his crew, but before his death, it looked like he took the Shooter Gang side in the beef. Many people would think K-Squeeze's own brother, also a rapper named Bust Down Bandy, but also went by Bishop, set K-Squeeze up, and it's been a rumor for years. Bishop still hangs with Mozzy Camp, and even at K-Squeeze's funeral, it's rumors that he got jumped for what people thinking him being involved in his own brother's death. More and more death will follow, and people believed it was from division in Oak Park, not from rival gangs.
Now, that's hard for me to believe. That's some crazy shit, man. Rest in peace, K-Squeeze, bro. But a nigga ain't finna put bruh on the line on it. You know what I mean? On some politics shit. Like, nigga.
Another rap crew would start to emerge called Red Paint, and they was also on the Shooter Gang side. They would have several rappers repping their camp, like Born Stunner 3G, and also a few other rappers like Red Paint Mava. He was known for being a street dude and having a deadly reputation, and he was known for being disrespectful to his enemies. But in September of 2021, Mava would be shot and killed at a house party in South Side.
Reports of a shooting just after 11:20 last night. Officers located 2 adult males who had been shot. Both were transported to area hospitals, where one unfortunately later died, and that's all the information they're telling us at this point.
The house party was full of Oak Park members, and many people believe since it was in Fruit Ridge where he was killed, which is an area in South Side, that a rival gang had to kill him. But it would later come out that it was a possible backdoor situation, with many people from his own hood wanting Mava dead. By 2022, Mozzy and Coney took their beef to record, dissing each other in songs and dissing each other.
Now, the crazy thing about, right, some of these internal beefs is, and motherfucker might speculate, like, how does this shit even come about? How would something like this even happen? But the thing about it is, it be all type of sucker shit going on. And it be like, niggas might be gang tight, but it might be other shit going on. There's other niggas up, nigga having paper, whatever. Nigga might have niggas doing all type of out-of-pocket shit. Or just, you know, it could be a multitude of out-of-pocket things that a motherfucker has done, right? Like, nigga strip a nigga for a gun that he ain't using or some dumb shit, or nigga rob a nigga cause a nigga up and he ain't up, but they all gang and some dumb shit, you feel me? Nigga fuck with these niggas and they, you know, it's all type of shit that can lead to some weird ass activity.
Sides, and chains on both sides will be took and exposed on social media, and a lot of Instagram beef will follow. In 2023, Shooter Gang VJ, who was dissed by Mozzy and heavily involved in the beef, will be shot and killed in Texas, which will throw many people off, with them wondering how did he die. Some people speculate a backdoor situation to get him killed, but some just say it was an isolated situation.
Deputies got here, they found a 25-year-old man dead after being shot multiple times in a driveway. All they know at this point is that there were 2 men arguing before one of them pulled out a gun and shot the other.
In 2024, just a few weeks back, a Mozzy affiliate named Guru Mozzy will be killed. And not just killed, it was said he was kidnapped, tortured, and threw outside his mother's house. And he was found in a pair of Jordans on one foot, and in the other foot, a soccer cleat.
Investigation after a man was found in an alley this morning. Police said officers responded to the area of 32nd Street and V Street, an alley there in Oak Park, because of a man who was lying in the road. What they found was a 34-year-old man with significant trauma. First responders pronounced him dead at the scene. There are no specifics of exactly what the traumatic injuries are.
This would be another situation considered a backdoor.
Genocide, basically, you know, the youth, your mind, right, don't fully develop into a certain age, especially for men, and it be a trip to see, you know, it don't be a trip, but it do be a trip to see like some of this shit that's taking place. And it's like, you know, they say the outer mind is the devil's playground, right? And how they be saying like you know, a lot of like community activists and this, that, and the third, right? One thing they do to try to like deter some of the youth from going down the wrong path, right, is have activities, have this, have that, you know what I'm saying? And it just be a tragedy when it's growing up in certain environments in the inner city, you understand me, and is plagued by certain activities, bruh, that leads one to believe, bruh, that they gotta operate a certain type of way, especially when you see a who's doing this, that, and the third, right? And he's getting rewarded for it. Some of the youth, right, that be in the inner city, right, when they get out of high school, they don't really be, college don't be on the brain, you feel me? And then it just be like is left to fend for theyself, right? And they already kind of been doing that, right? Because they folks be at work, they folks be trying to provide, whatever, this, that, and the third, man. You know what I mean? And they get raised by circumstances. You feel me? And the shit be like, it be devastating, bro. Like I said, man, shooter gang, they had a prominent future ahead of them. Start going to jail, this internal this, that, and the third. It's you know, it's terrible, bro. You know, rest in peace to everybody who lost their life. It's unfortunate. Condolences to their families on both sides, you know. And it's just, bro, it's a curse. It's a curse. It's shit. Like, but y'all let me know what y'all think. We on to the next one.